Buenas tardes, muchas gracias por haberme invitado a esta presentación. ¿Todos me entienden bien? Déjenme hablar un poquito más duro para todos aquellos que no me entiendan. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Okay, some of you understand, some of you don't. But that's basically what a person would feel like in a situation like this, where you're coming at them speaking in a language that is not their own. Speaking louder, as you saw, does not help. That's the same thing that you saw here with the different conditions. Some of those things could apply to the situation when you're dealing with a person with limited English proficiency. There's difficulties in communicating with this. What I can talk to you about is cultural issues. Language and culture are connected. The reason I speak Spanish, for example, is because of my Hispanic culture. That allows me to interpret the world in different ways. When you talk to you may not be able to talk to a person in their own language, but there are basic things that you should understand, and these things going to determine how they react. There are some social issues that affect how we communicate. The family structure, for example. In some cultures, the family unit is very important. Who you communicate to is very important. They may not want to separate in an emergency situation. You may have the whole family unit coming as a unit, and it will be very difficult for you to try to separate them. Who you talk to? Do you talk to the older person? Do you talk to the youngest person? What if the person is a woman? Depending on the culture, that may be relevant. The religious interaction and use of, in regard with gender and use of authority figures. Religion plays a factor, culture plays a factor. Some cultures may view the fact that you have a uniform as you are an authority figure. I owe you respect just because of the uniform. I may not know what's going on, but I'm gonna go like this. And you're gonna tell me, go over there. I'm gonna say, and I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. So you need to be mindful of that, because maybe pointing and just like everybody else said, showing them what needs to be done is more useful than any language that I can teach you right now. Linguistic, I say tomato, you say tomato, and we speak the same language and we don't understand each other. That's even more difficult when you have a person that doesn't speak the language. And we're talking a lot about sign language, and I put it under linguistic, but really it doesn't belong there. Sign language in some cultures may be misunderstood. You go, good job to somebody of particular culture, you're gonna have a problem in your hands, because you don't do that. Past experiences. We're talking about paranoia and stuff like that. You know what? It's not paranoia if they're really after you. Especially when you're talking about people with undocumented immigrants. If I'm undocumented and I see a person with a rifle and a uniform, in my mind I'm saying deportation. I have to avoid you, because if I go to you, I'm going to find myself in a situation that I don't want to be at. So how do you deal with these issues? You have to be mindful of this and have policies in place that are going to assure and reassure people that you are here to help. You are not immigration. You are not to deport people. Some people may be out there to do that, but you have to reassure people that that's not going to happen in this situation, because you want to help them. Even people that may be here legally may be concerned that, I couldn't get my papers. How do I prove that I am who I am so I can get the service that I need? They may be afraid to even come to you also. So you have to be mindful of that. We have a lot of people that come from different parts of the world, and they have gone through experiences that maybe you can't relate to because you have been in similar situations in your deployments. I can't, because I've never been in that situation. But the fact that they may have come here from a country that was at war may also determine how they're going to react. They may, again, try to avoid you because they don't know what's going on. They know that something bad happened. They came here to America because they know they can be safe here. Now, we are in a situation where they are no longer safe. So how do they react to that? It's very difficult and very traumatic, and you have to be able to try to communicate the fact that you are here to help and here to assist them. And again, on the opposite side of that coin is that those experiences that they've had in the past, maybe have them made them stronger. Maybe they really understand that when they see this uniform with the American flag, they can go to you to get the help they need. Keep in mind, again, different cultures experience anxiety differently. Just because don't assume that because a person is smiling or acknowledging, going like this, they are understanding. Talk to them. Make sure you have, if possible, we would have either an interpreter with you, or maybe you have identified already the language needs of the particular area that you're going to be operating in, and you would have cue cards, maybe signs pointing to people in the right direction. Rituals are very important. Prayers, amulets. If you're going to take a person through the decontamination process, it may be an issue that they don't want to part with that amulet because that amulet is the one thing that is going to keep them protected. So you want to understand that, and maybe you can decontaminate that item and give it back to them. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a holy book that they may have or what have you, that they're carrying with them. How are you going to reassure them that that item will be returned to them after decontamination, if possible? Those are the issues you have to deal with. You have simple instructions. Follow the line, go here, go there, in as many languages as you can possibly get them. And ultimately, use your training. You have been trained prior to deployment on cultural aspects of different countries. Use as much as that as you can in the situation at hand, and hopefully it will work.